everybody, Robbie with Robbie's Reptiles. Today we're going to be doing the second part to rating your geckos. So I post on my Instagram. If you guys aren't following, make sure that you do so. And then you can see the next time that I post on my story for you guys to email me photos of your Crested Geckos for me to review them. You guys get a free shout out. We get to talk about different things about different morphs. And hopefully I can shine a little bit of light on my kind of thought process behind what I decide is a breedable and good gecko versus a pet quality not good gecko. So let's go ahead and start the video. First gecko sent in is by Cam Evans, and we have a soft scale lily white. Let's go ahead and break this down from what I can see so far. It's looking like, one, it's a soft scale lily white. That's a rare combination. Right now, I know that there's only one person, maybe two, that currently have super soft lily white. So that's really awesome. I also have a soft scale lily white. This one, immediately, great pattern, really high coverage, amazing contrast as well. I'm a big fan. Immediate negative though is going to be the head structure. The head is almost bald, I would say. Very weak, very small, and it's still growing, so it's not an adult either. It's looking like it's female though, so that's really good. I'd give this a 7 out of 10, just because of the amazing contrast and the amazing white, and the fact that it's soft scale. That's pretty awesome. Definitely worth breeding, but try to pair it with something with much better head structure. Next up is Gecko Fidelity with this, looks like a flame, kind of, quad stripe, something. I'm gonna call it a flame. And it looks like it is a female flame with red base color and yellow patterning. Not a desirable combination, I would say, for breeding purposes. Usually when we have a red base, we wanna go with really white patterning, because otherwise there isn't a lot of contrast and it's not seen as desirable, but it's still got really good structure. That's something to note. Its head structure isn't going up, which is a plus. It's not going down either, but at least it is wide. It looks like it. It's got decent patterning, a little bit of drip as well. I'd give this a 6.5 out of 10. It's like a standard looking breeding quality gecko. Nothing great, nothing terrible. Next up is the one and only Kuzon, from Kuzon the Cresty, of course. Let's go ahead and rate Kuzon, which I'm sure is going to spark a lot of controversy. I've seen him plenty of, or her, him, her, technically a her, but he identifies as a him, I've heard. Kuzon is really nice. He's got great tricolor. I would consider him a tricolor over other ones, that other geckos in the industry that I've seen claimed as a tricolor. Kuzon, I would say, is a much truer version of a tricolor. Really vibrant whites, really vibrant orange graham cracker type color. Just a good quality gecko, decent expression, not very drippy. That's where I would kind of nitpick. So to me, I mean, solid 7 out of 10. It looks like that's just going to be my comfort spot. I mean, if I had her, I would breed her, but I know that she turned down that offer that I gave her when I was offering to pair Kuzon to Chad. Let me know if you guys wish that that pairing would have happened. And then she also sent photos of her other ones. This is Norin, a super Dalmatian, or maybe just a Dalmatian with a red base. Kind of bicolor, it seems. Really good head structure though. Good quality gecko. If you're gonna be breeding, that's a really good starting point for a Dalmatian project. Really good. And then she sent this piece of cork bark. I don't know why. Next up is Goofy Geckos. And there's only one side that I can kind of see the patterning. So not the best pictures to choose for future reference, but I can work with it. It looks like its head structure is pointing down, and it has a really interesting base color. You know, whenever you see copper that's been out in the elements for a while, it kind of looks like that greenish kind of thing. I'm sure that it fires up with a black base color. Very interesting. It looks like it's a Harlequin, nothing fancy. Really, so far what I can see is kind of a muddy base color with not very high contrast, aka like high cream or high white dorsal or patterning, kind of more like a brown. I would give this a 5.5 out of 10, maybe a 5. Next is Jaredin Wu. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. We've got a close-up of its head. It looks adorable. And then we have an actual picture of it. And it looks like the dorsal is very messy, but it has a really nice black base color. And in this photo, it looks like it's either in shed or fired down, but I can tell that that thing fires up jet black, which is really hard to come by. Really nice black base color, not the best dorsal patterning, nor is it very neat and orderly. And it looks like the Harlequin markings aren't that defined either, and not very high expressing. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a 5 out of 10 even. Also not that great of head structure. Okay, next up is Adrian Carrillo, and it looks like we have a tricolor quad stripe-ish, kind of. Really neat, perfect pinstripe. That's always a plus. And it looks like a really high definition tricolor. The tail is really interesting as well. Looks very defined. Whoa, good jump there. And interesting, it's kind of like a Halloween tricolor almost, which I'm sure is not a thing. But, you know, look at the picture. Kind of looks like it's got that really defined orange. I like it. I would give it a 6.5 out of 10. I wouldn't breed it, but it looks really pretty. Next up, we have South Bay Reptiles. Josh sent me a lot of geckos, so we're only gonna review a couple of them. Let me look through these and decide which one I want to review. So for the first gecko that we got sent by him, right off the bat, really, really muddy and unattractive base color. But it does have really nice tipped crests. That looks really interesting. With really good head structure. A lot of spikes on its head structure as well, on his floppy head. So that's pretty cool. Or her, I can't tell. Other than that, it's a really undesirable base color. And mixed with cream, if it was a black base color, man, would it be great. But it isn't. So for that first one, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. Second one is a female that I've actually offered him on numerous occasions to buy. This is an extreme harlequin, just like my line Kevin and Karen, just like the geckos that I currently have, Nikki, except with more of Kevin's colors, which is great. And she is really yellow with white, and it looks like an almost black base color, not quite there. If it was black, then it would be much more like Kevin. Really nice female, high pattern, great expression with that dashed pinning, which I just think looks kind of cool. Maybe it's just my own personal preference. I'm sure it is. Other than that, it's got okay head structure. As a breeder, I give this a 7 out of 10, especially if it's proven. This is a really nice gecko, and I wish that I could buy it from you, so let me buy it from you. All right, so that's gonna do it for this episode of reviewing your geckos. Remember, follow me on Instagram, and at any point you guys can email me pictures of your geckos at robbiesreptiles@gmail.com, and I will be able to include them in all the upcoming episodes. I'm starting a series with this. So if you guys enjoy this, make sure to like, subscribe, and all that YouTube mumbo jumbo. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.